Hi, today the topic that I've chosen is identity crisis. Now, this is a very commonly used topic by me in classes. What I usually do is I go to classes and I tell the students, the college students, that during this stage of your life, you will be extremely confused about who you are, what you want to be, what are you like, and all those things. And it is very common. You will be facing this. We have all faced it. And as time goes by, you will slowly get the answers for it. So no worries. You need not hurry about it. And you will figure it out. This is what I say. And I used to say about these things as if it is something that I have overcome. But then recently, things got me thinking, because if identity crisis is something that I was supposed to face and get over with during my early stages of life, then what was I facing during my mid-20s? What was I facing last year? What am I facing now? So this got me thinking, and that is when I did read on this further. And identity crisis, I don't know why I'm struggling with the word. Identity crisis is something that we face depending on the situations that we're going through. For example, when we face a breakup, what happens is that there are many of us who have completely developed an identity based on our partner. So when the partner is no longer there, we sometimes face identity crisis. There are times when we are in a job that we really love, but then we no longer feel like it's worth it. During that times, we face identity crisis. There are times when people are very much associated with the places that they live in, and then when they go abroad, they feel like nothing makes sense anymore. They don't know who they are anymore. During that times, there are probabilities of us facing identity crisis. Then there are times when we compare ourselves with the other people of our age in social media platforms. Then there are also times when we feel absolutely lost when we're talking with people. We feel like we're being pretentious. We are no longer the same person anymore. So other than the usual identity crisis that we face when we are transitioning from like school life to college life to work life, there are these kind of situations also in our life which leads to this identity crisis. So this terminology was actually coined by a psychoanalyst named Erik Erikson. Now he was a very popular person when it comes to the field of psychology, because we had to study a lot of things that had been written by him or found by him or discovered by him. And later on, while I was reading further on these aspects, I came across this concept and it was pretty interesting. That is, our identity is based on three aspects. One is our self-perception. The second one is our values, and the third one is our narratives. Self-perception means like how we see ourselves, how we see ourselves, what we think of ourselves, the traits and all those aspects. Values are our moral compass. What are the things that are important for us, and what are the things that are not that important for us? So for some people, the loyalty is important. For some people, love is important. For some people, it might be relations, family orientation, or depending. The moral values keep changing for people to people. So there are these values. And then the third aspect is the narratives. Narratives is the story that we tell ourselves. I am so and so. I like so and so. I don't like so and so. I am this person, I'm a good sister, I'm a good daughter. All these stories that we tell ourselves is narratives. When we are facing identity crisis, what happens is that these three aspects of our life are shaken up. Like completely shaken. I mean, I'm exaggerating with too much drama over here. But then these things are shaken up, and we no longer, it takes time for us to stabilize things back. And so I usually explain the concept, and then I usually talk about how to deal with it. Now this is a very, very, very pathetic solution, but then I will have to tell you this, that do not hurry on solving it up. Okay. When you try to hurry for solving your identity crisis, what happens is that you end up doing things that leads to just further identity crisis. You're just sitting in a place and wondering, what the hell have I done? So there's no point in hurrying things. Just let time take its course. One of the major tada moment, one of the major solution. The second thing that I would like to tell is that do not label yourself. You can say things like you like doing certain things, you can say such stuff, but don't just label yourself as so and so and so yet. Okay. The moment you label yourself, what happens is that you tend to feel bad when you're not able to become that whenever you want to. That's there. Then there is the very commonly explained solution by me, which is diary writing, journaling. The thing is, when you write, you understand a lot of aspects, and for some people, it is not just about things running in their head. They need to bring it all out, see it for themselves, and they will start understanding themselves better. Then another solution is talk to people. Talk to people in the sense of not random people, but people that you genuinely know will not judge you. It could be your mentors, it could be your family members, your friends, your maybe even a therapist. But you should be sure that they aren't in the mode of judging you. When you do that, what happens is that you will understand that it is something that we all go through. So irrespective of our age, because earlier I used to say that it is age related, irrespective of our age, we tend to go through identity crisis. And how do you know that you're going through identity crisis? It is usually the times when you are wondering, who am I, what am I, those kind of questions come into your head. When you're like having some kind of split personality. One time you are being a full-fledged spiritual person, the next time you're being all party geek. In those kind of situations, that can be a sign of you going through identity crisis, and you are feeling that you're being very pretentious is a sign of you maybe going through identity crisis. And when you're not fully satisfied with generally what is happening. So all these are different signs. I don't think I need to talk a lot about the signs of identity. I mean, signs, S-I-G-N-S, signs. So signs of identity crisis, because it is something that you just know. You aren't fully sure of who you are, where you are, what are you up to. But just to make you understand, it is not something that you alone go through. It is something that everybody goes through. It is something that people go through when they're taking up new roles in life, when they become a wife, or when they become a husband, when they become a father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, any kind of relation. Even when I first became a teacher in my life, I was having this feeling of, what am I doing kind of situation. So we all go through it. Then we learn through experience, and then we understand ourselves better. The more and more we understand ourselves, the more and more comfortable we become. The more comfortable we become, the more confident we become. So I just wanted to make a small video on it because it's a interesting concept. That's it. Thank you. Bye.